You're probably feeling drained, exhausted, running out of passion, and you've probably been feeling that way longer than you care to admit. Drained every day, exhausted by trivial stuff, even on quiet days when not much was actually happening. Overthinking basic work maybe, ticket definitions, tests to write, minor PRs, routine roadmap meetings. All of this is what I'd call an energy problem. You know what it feels like to have energy. When you do, everything feels easy. Energy and feeling energized are inseparable. I bet you're not sleeping well either. Because how can you sleep well when you know deep down you're not living up to half your potential and the other half is quietly slipping away? So now you're in a vicious cycle, drained in the day, not sleeping at night. If you stay this way for too long, you're going to burn out. Maybe you're already on the edge of it and have been for longer than is healthy. But why has it come to this when earlier in your career things went faster, better and actually felt exciting? When introverted, technically minded people enter their careers, they add clear value. The value of logic and rationality, learned in practice or built on academic success. People like you and me can spend 10 to 15 years moving through what feels like real career progression, working hard, helping others solve problems, producing quality outputs in documents, ideas or code. In some places we reach mid-level, in others senior or even principal. If you're lucky, someone gives you a shot at the management role. But sooner or later you're going to hit a ceiling and it's going to feel like hell. If you get promoted before you're ready, it feels even worse. The real tragedy is that you won't realise you've been hitting that ceiling until years after it started. Like the proverbial frog in the pan, you've been slowly boiled alive without knowing it. That slow boil is what leaves you exhausted and drained at the end of every working day with nothing left for the things that actually matter to you. Here's the reason. The more senior you go, the more communication with individuals and with groups becomes the core of the job. And at some point that demand has outgrown your ability to meet it with the tools you've always used. The hammer you've relied on, logical problem solving analysis, rationality, has served you well. It's driven in plenty of nails, but you're no longer in a nail situation. Even at the level of brain chemistry, your mind is optimized for solving logical problems. So you approach every conversation, every presentation, every conflict with the same diagnostic mindset. That feeling of not knowing when to speak or what to say or getting there too late, that's your analytical brain trying to debug the code of human dialogue. In software, you have hours to think. In conversation, you have split seconds. The brain can't keep up. And yes, sometimes the hammer lands, because if you keep swinging, occasionally something will go in like a nail. But fundamentally, this is not a world of logic and rationality. This is the world of human rapport, empathy, emotion, small talk and conversational fluency. Humans are not rational. In short, it's a world where extroverts thrive and logic first introverts struggle. Those aren't nails. The hammer isn't working. You need new tools, a new skill set and a new mindset. But before we get to that, let's talk about what staying as you are actually costs you. Plenty of research has been done in this space. The estimated lifetime earnings gap in the UK between introverts and extroverts is between £300,000 and £500,000. In the higher earning sectors like data engineering, software engineering and DevOps, it can exceed 1 million. Why? Extroverts build wider networks, access leaders more easily and get promoted faster, particularly into leadership and management. This probably doesn't surprise you. Think about the people around you who've risen faster, who've broken through the mid-level ceiling. If you're like me, you probably attributed their success to something other than interpersonal skills, because confronting that gap in yourself has always felt uncomfortable. Now, layer AI on top of this. What is AI most obviously going to be applied to? Logical problem solving in technical domains. Precisely the areas already highly automated, where software is everywhere and systems can be integrated through a few voice commands. We've seen the early reality of this in the mass layoffs at companies like those in the FANG group, and it's spreading fast. Meanwhile, what does AI make more valuable? Not less. Empathy, emotional rapport, vulnerability, influence, stakeholder management, community. These skills increase in value dramatically as everything else gets automated. First and foremost, the application of logical problem solving through technical means. AI is already writing code. The writing is on the wall that its ability to write that code is going to go one way and fast. It's also creating documentation and diagrams, visuals and explanations better than most humans can. So your value is eroding day by day. This isn't just my opinion. The McKinsey Global Institute 2025 report, Agents, Robots and Us, Skilled Partnerships in the Age of AI, says it. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs 2025 report says it. Beyond Automation, How AI is Reshaping the Job Market. Links to all of these are in the description. So, what are our options? Path 1, leave the role. Go solo or find somewhere that rewards working alone. Keep developing the technical skills and aim to be among the specialists who build the AI tooling itself. This lets you sidestep the deeper issue, your over-reliance on logic in human situations. I'm not going to encourage you to study more AI. You're going to do that anyway, whatever I say. You're probably going to do it a lot more than you need to, because if you're an experienced techie and you've got this far, it's not what's limiting your career. For this path to work, you have to be able to compete with the few best talents in the world, and you need to be able to find a way of working that allows or rewards highly isolated work. This is going to become fewer and fewer as time progresses and AI makes bigger inroads. Path 2, fix the root cause. Going solo might feel like relief, and maybe one day this is the right path for another reason, but ask yourself honestly, is it solving the problem or avoiding the discomfort? Because if you don't fix it, you will never know what it feels like to be a confident communicator. Not just at work, in life. The skill of tact, poise under pressure, handling groups with ease. You won't develop that by finding a quieter corner to hide in. And here's the thing, you can partially dodge this at work. You cannot dodge it in life. It will follow you. You'll know it's there. So even if leaving is the right career move, it's time to fix this anyway. For the life outside the job, no more dreading parties, no more shrinking from the spotlight, no more chronic awareness that you're operating at a fraction of what you're capable of. This is about becoming comfortable in your own skin in the public world, and that unlocks things far beyond your career. And remember, this isn't about removing the introvert in you, it's about adding new tools to your existing personality. More balance, more resilience, more range. So what is the solution? To fix something like this, you build habits and gradually get used to the discomfort. To overcome a phobia of apples, you eat a small piece day by day until eating a whole apple feels effortless. What we're dealing with here is close to a phobia. An unhealthy fear of strangers, groups, presenting, small talk, being silly or vulnerable in front of peers, asking for help, building relationships simply for the sake of having people around you. But before I give you some of the best techniques, one thing you need to internalize. Other people are thinking about themselves. When they interact with you, what they fundamentally need is to feel safe. They are not thinking about you as much as you believe, and they are not judging you on your outputs or results. They are judging you on how you make them feel. Lean much less into convincing people, showing off intelligence, diverting conversations to territory you feel knowledgeable on or can win. The goal is simple. Make people feel safe, make them feel heard, and wherever possible, make them feel joy. So here are the techniques you've been waiting for. Number 1, smile and be light-hearted. Whenever you're engaging with anyone, smile. Bring lightness and fun into the moment. It makes others feel safe, relaxes the room, and means people enjoy being around you. Number 2, practice small talk daily. At the shops, at the gym, with neighbours, with colleagues, strike up short conversations. Smile when you do it, make eye contact, be light-hearted. A joke, a genuine thank you, a moment of warmth. This is the smallest possible taste of that apple, and research backs this up. You would genuinely enjoy your day more for doing it. Number 3, retire the boring openers. Instead of how are you, try what's been exciting for you lately, or what interesting stuff has been going on. These give people permission to skip the scripted response and say something real, which makes the connection better for both of you. The real test: can you walk up to a stranger and start a short conversation? If not, practice it. You'll quickly find there's nothing here to fear. That feeling you've had for years, reinforced by the cultural meme that introverts are fine to not engage, is giving you an excuse to avoid something that needs confronting. Number 4, practice at work. Check in with people regularly, not with an agenda, just to see how they're doing. Ask for feedback often. When you do, look at them, not at your screen. If you're on a call, look into the camera and turn off self-view. I want you also to practice listening without interrupting. Tilt your head slightly when you ask for follow-up questions and invite them to go deeper. This is especially powerful with senior stakeholders. Show genuine interest in their perspective. Number 5, use intentionality. Our default mode, analytical, diagnostic, serious, can come across as aloof, disinterested, or even aggressive, as if every conversation is a debate to win. Before any interaction, write down or silently repeat your intention. For example, I will listen well in this conversation, or I will look for a moment to lighten the mood, or I will be the most helpful person on this call, or I will make people feel good, or I will notice if I'm becoming defensive and stay open. Number 5, use intentionality. Our default mode of analytical, diagnostic, serious come across sometimes as aloof, disinterested, or even aggressive, as if every conversation is a debate to win. Before any interaction, write down or silently repeat your intention. For example, I will listen well in this conversation, or I will look for a moment to lighten the mood, or I will be the most helpful person on this call, or I will help make people feel good, or I will notice if I'm becoming defensive and stay open instead. Here's the real prize. Your new value comes from keeping your logical and rational capability and building alongside it a new power of rapport, empathy, and genuine human connection. Do all of the above consistently and you will fundamentally shift how you relate to people, not in months or years, but in weeks. It will accelerate your career and directly address the biggest threat in front of you. But more than that, you'll feel better, more connected, less isolated, and that habit of spiraling into overthinking, you'll find it easier to break because you'll have people around you to think out loud with, to share the burden with, and to ask for help from, rather than going lone wolf for weeks and hoping nobody notices. If this hit home, subscribe for more like it, or you can find me on Instagram and DM me there. Use the link in the video description. Goodbye for now.